Only you should have. Nice. Door down small. Go to the right.
What the fuck? Oh my god!
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Season, we know he's a good player, especially within the mode, but we don't know if he has this much ice. Able to find the first one though. 35 seconds remaining on the clock. Goes for the challenge onto Me's absolutely guns. Goes for the challenge on the primal guns him too. 18 seconds left. It's just one more player. X dipping, diving is hidden. He finds the kill. We'll see what else Hidden Season has up his sleeve. Many moves as he's able to.
One shot dead. Another one dead. Stay right. Go on P5. I got one front. Horrible. God, one shot dead! That's on me! Dead! Behind me! Dead! Get fucking shit on!
Hard point is active. Enemy has the
He
hard
hit it through. Hope's dead. Radio dead. Hope dead.
Rep. He's got to do it again. 1v3. Down this time. 4-2. Finds one. Finds two. He can do it. No bullets. Picks up an MP40. 1v1. He finds it. 1v3. He did it again. Oh my god. He does it all the time.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Amateur World League as we have an incredible matchup coming your way as we have Iron Blood Gaming going up against Electrify Steel. I know this is the matchup that everybody has really been waiting for in this Pool A, and I am next to my co-caster Epiphany. How are you doing tonight, and how excited are you about this series?
I'm doing great, Graf. I'm super excited for this series. This is maybe the biggest series of the entire qualifiers, to be quite honest with you. This is a super, super big one. Yeah, both of these teams who are doing amazing in their pool, trying to fight for that top spot in their pool when it comes to playoffs, and they're just trying to prove themselves. And when you look at both of these rosters, it is stacked to the brim. There's also new changes coming through. Iron Blood, they just made a roster change today before this match. It is unbelievable the things that are happening in this league. You have a Wraith out, Zappio in as the last minute sub. Doesn't get a whole lot better than this one, does it?
No, absolutely not. And you just look at them from top to bottom. Like you said, these are both stacked rosters. Gunny, absolutely incredible flex player on the other side. You have Khan, maybe rated as the highest submachine gun in the league. Electrify Steel, they are sitting at a 3-0 overall with a 9-0 map count, and you can see it on the other side. It is Iron Blood 2-0 with a 6-1. Both of these two teams fighting for that number one spot in the A division. You just have a feeling this is going to go to that map 5 or at least to a map 4. There's no way I think this ends in a 3-0. It is just going to be a gauntlet in the series. And when you're looking at these maps and the picks and bans, I guess if you're either one of these teams, who do you give the edge in these maps?
I mean, if I'm going to be honest with you, looking at the vetoes here, it is a Bocage Desert Siege Gavutu veto for Iron Blood and a Gavutu Desert Siege Tuscan veto for the side of Electrify Steel. So you have two of the same maps, but where it gets interesting is you have Electrify Steel vetoing that Tuscan. So I think that is the big thing to point out here. Bocage doesn't get through because Ironblood, they do veto it. But the Tuscan, it is still getting through in the hardpoint and the S&D. So that makes me a bit worried for Electrify Steel, the fact that they wanted that Tuscan out, yet there's 2 in there. The problem, though, is that they are on each different end of the series. They can win off of Berlin and 1 Tuscan. They could win off of just Berlin 3 in a row there. So I think it's not too much to worry about, but definitely a point of notice for this Electrify Steel squad.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And for, I think, the side of Iron Blood, it's just going to be maybe taking that Berlin S&D and Berlin Control. I think those are going to be the 2 real toss-up maps. Both these 2 teams are incredible at search and destroy, but for the Berlin, I got to give the edge to Iron Blood. I think they're just going to be a little bit more confident. Yes, they're coming in with a sub, but I think the way of Electrify Steel, they've won some very close maps, so it doesn't mean that their S&D game is perfect. And then for the Control, it is really one of those maps where it's a momentum type map, right? If you have an amazing offense, you're most likely going to roll that into an amazing defense and potentially another offense. And we're already about to hop into this series. I think we're about to get it underway. But when we look at that Berlin hardpoint as well, that one, it's just going to matter about the rotations. We say it time and time again. Teams that win those rotations end up winning the map.
Yeah, for sure. It's all about the rotation men getting paid. I just gotta say it. It's a big thing of note in the past matches that I've casted for AWL, because I feel like that's the downfall of a lot of teams, is that they are not rotating. They are not setting up at even if they do rotate, sometimes they're getting broken. So you got to get those strong rotations. You got to get the strong setups, and that's especially important when you're talking about a map like Tuscan.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely correct. I think the one characteristic about this map that you have to realize is sometimes the spawns aren't necessarily the best. You've seen it, I think, on the P4. Sometimes you can break that hill from the front and you can get spawn trapped in the back. It's just going to be the biggest question mark. And starting on that favorable side, it will be Iron Blood, as they're going to be kicking this one off right here on the P1. But it looks like it will be Electrify Steel there early. I think the big player that you have to watch out for early in this series will be Mies. He's been kind of one of those question marks for me. Yes, he has a 1.73 KD, but he just has some of those hot and cold spurts where it concerns me when it's a high caliber team like Iron Blood Gaming. We'll see if he's able to keep that consistency up throughout the remainder of the series.
For sure, and as we kick things off, it's going to be Electrify Steel coming out on top of the hill as they find the initial kills. It's the new guy on the block, though, for Iron Blood Gaming. It's Zapio, now moving his way towards middle. We'll see what he can do. We'll see what play he can make, as he still lurks, but he does get taken down eventually. It's still time ticking in the favor of Electrify Steel, yet spawns still in the favor of Iron Blood Gaming. They need to get that rotation, and they have done so. They are already there, but who is there to take a crack at the point first? It's Hidden. Taken down eventually, though, but Iron Blood, they're starting to get some of that lost time on this P2, and it's still 40 seconds and counting. You have a lot of time to do so, but it's going to be up to Electrify Steel to try to find the break through the back as number 1 Mies, he tries to make that happen as he soars through the back. Hidden now onto the point, but Mies, he goes big, finds 2. It's going to end up being the opportunity here for Electrify Steel to try to break in, but it is still the time ticking for Iron Blood for the time being, but there's Mies getting the kills. Electrify Steel, they break into the point here for a moment.
Yeah, and what a great break by Mies there, starting it off hot. But on the side of Iron Blood, I like what they're doing here. Zapio, he's just kind of being the hill man, being the new guy, being the last-minute substitute. You really don't know how they're going to feel. And a lot of times you see that last-minute sub kind of being that hill man, just being like, hey, this is all you really have to do. Make sure you just secure the hill. You're not necessarily needing to go out there and slay as much as you need to. Being that hill man, I think, just really kind of ingrains that communication, that chemistry earlier on in this map. And right now, it's just kind of been the rotation game. Iron Blood, they do get there first, but Rep and his teammate are looking to work in through the back, and it is just all going down. It will be Kanwa comes away, but Hidden and the spawns for the steal, they are still putting on the pressure.
Yeah, and you know, it's a rough start for Conwa. You mentioned it's a 3-7 start. Not typically what we see out of this player as like what you would consider the star of this Ironblood squad, but he finally starts to pick things up, gets that score line in his favor. It's now 75 and counting in the favor of Ironblood to 47. As ESG, they try to find a way to break through, but it is a stronghold from Ironblood Gaming right now. As Gunny, he's already pushed up through P5, thinking about the P4 implication, because who is there? It's going to end up being Electrify Steel. They do have control of the hill for the time being, but you need to worry about the fact that they are creeping up on your scoreline if you are Ironblood Gaming. You try to break in, but now it's Reciprocity through the back right now trying to find some kills. He's out hunting. He's smelling blood in the water as he tries to find his way in. As Ironblood, they do hold the time for right now, but it is going to be Electrify Steel making light work of him as Rep. He finds 1 and 2. It's going to end up being Electrify Steel breaking in for a moment.
Yeah, when you break this game down into a statistics standpoint, Electrify Steel, they have the heavy slay ability, and I think that's what makes them such a solid team, is they're able to keep up with the slay power of any team in the league and multiple leagues across these discords. But when you look at Ironblood, you have a little bit more of a seasoned vet. You have Gunny. You can tell just by his playstyle, he is so aware of what is going on in the map. He is making a lot of those heads-up plays, winning a lot of those 1v1s, getting those rotational gunfights, and I think that's just going to be a matter of time for Ironblood. Will they be able to hold one down for a full 60, or will the power and the slaying ability of Electrify Steel be able to break through? I guess we'll really find out which is harder, steel or iron.
Yeah, I guess we will, because this is a battle of the metals, and both of these teams have a lot of metal in this game as they try to bust their way through onto this P5, but it's Reciprocity, the next one up to do so. Shots in, tries to go for a little hop into the window, doesn't work out, and taken down eventually, but Ironblood Gaming, they're trying to come out on top of the kills, but Mies, he finds his way through, and you know, you were talking about Mies being a little bit of that inconsistent player, not quite being exactly where you'd want him all the time. Well, so far, he's doing a decent job of his job, quite frankly. 14 and 12 right now, and you get the rotation if you're Ironblood Gaming, but Electrify Steel, they're already finding the kills through. Now, here's what I'm curious about. How is Electrify Steel sounding in the comms? Because surely they've got to be sounding good if they're trying to make a little bit of a comeback here against the scoreline of Ironblood. Let's go to a listen with ESG.
Two front, two field.
Yo, one's mid truck, I'm nading over your field. I gotta get you, Hogan, you gotta get you.
I
have EU.
Oh,
Okay, I'm faded. Good shit.
Back that. Come dead. Let's get pinch. Help, Logan, help. I'm off streaks. I'm on streaks.
He's a little bit weak. Don't try to.
I'm on glide.
Hurry up. Yo, rotate. Hurry up, hold.
I'm playing my glide.
Middle.
Are you dead? I got glide.
Good shit. There.
I'm just playing my life.
Good truck. He's channeling old.
He's stunned me.
I didn't stun anything B5 side. I spawned in the back. T dead. Check us. Nothing challenge me? One radio. No, I got some T, but I don't have T. Yeah, you gotta
Rex, flying on Rex. Rex, see the church ramp.
Yeah, you should. Okay.
And coming back from that listening, I liked what I was hearing from the side of Electrify Steel. I think the only thing is, Khan, being that entry sub, you have to have, I think, a little bit more juice. He was calling out here and there, but it just seemed like everybody rep Mies hidden. They were doing all the dirty work that needed to be done, and they find themselves in a lead change. They were really carrying that comms and the momentum in there. You heard Mies, he was getting hyped up. He earns that glide bomb, and Ironblood, they find themselves on the back foot, and that's just the biggest question. Can they keep up with the slay power? I know you were saying Conwa, he is the highlight right now, but when he is going up against the '1 sub in the league in Khan, it's really Conwa versus Khan, and right now Steel is coming out on top.
For sure, and you talk about stepping a foot back. Well, now you got to talk about stepping a foot forward if you're the side of Electrify Steel, getting over that hurdle, starting to extend this scoreline in your favor more and more. It all starts with this P3, though, as time continues to tick in their favor. Khan, being that defending man on the point, picks up an AR for a moment here, but Ironblood, you can see they're already teaming up for the break. Take a look at number 7, number 5. It's going to be Conwa and Zapio, the new guy, trying to find his way through. First one going to be down, but it is Electrify Steel still holding strong on the spawns. Time is vacant right now. If you're Mies, you just got to hold on here, but you get taken down. Now it's Ironblood trying to soak up the last 15 seconds like a sponge, but it is Electrify Steel still holding strong on the point as Ironblood, they do get in for a second, but they are going to clear a house, and now it's Electrify Steel finding their way over towards P4 once more. Here comes the battle on the hill.
Oh my goodness, and I loved Zapio. He made the heads-up play. He rotated so early, but I think him and another player on his team ended up just passing through the side of Steel like ships in the night. They weren't able to get the spot. They went all the way to the left. They went through middle, and that just shows how Steel, they just found those openings. They find those nooks and crannies, and this is what makes them such a solid team. Hidden, he's looking for the third. Can he find it? No, he's not going to take the challenge as of yet. He's going to push outside. Fortunately, he will go down, and that will be Conwa picking up one. Gunny also giving them that covering fire, working their way on into Church. A few Hail Marys. Can they get the break? It does not seem like it will be the case. Khan holding on, has a minute and 25 in the hill, but you look at Ironblood. Look at the time. It is not more than a 10-second difference from getting that hill, and that just shows how well their communication is on key, and I'm curious how their comms are sounding. Let's go to a listening with Ironblood Gaming.
I got one. I'm holding. I got nade.
Double shot this after the nade blows up.
Pinch time. Pinch time now. Pinch time now.
Something over you.
Back window.
I stunned
Fire.
it.
Still fire. Still fire.
I have bottom. I have
Fire,
bottom.
fire,
Well.
one more, fire. Jump down. He's still there. Really big con died. One more well. I'm pinching mid. I'm pinching from mid.
Well dead. Shitter.
Nice. Well, yeah.
Bottom. Nice. Good trade. He's dead. He's dead. Nice. That should be 2 off spawn, yo.
What? One shot. Dead.
Go new.
I'm really here. I'm leaving you, Connor.
Okay.
Over there on you. Nice. Good
Go
job.
in,
I'm
guys.
done.
We have numbers. Bottom church.
Big kill bomb church. You can get it.
Teams.
You got it, Epiphany.
All right, well, these teams are neck and neck right now, and they are trying to choke each other out. It is 229 to 218, and now you get onto that third set of rotations. It is time ticking for the side of Electrify Steel still. Now coming in within 10 points of the victory, but Ironblood, they're trying to get that break. Not going to happen when Hidden Season goes big, though, with 2. It's going to be the ending here very soon. It's written on the cards, Electrify Steel. They're trying to cement it here, and they do so. They're going to get that 1-0 advantage going on over towards that map too.
Yeah, I just want to talk about that listening for the side of Ironblood. It just kind of seemed like when you went to the comms, it was only one person calling it out, and it was actually Zapio. He was being that IGL, being the new guy, calling everything out. That's not what you want to have happen. And then you heard a little bit of frustration coming on in from Aquatic, saying, what? That just sometimes shows your immaturity in some of these games. You have to realize you should not be saying that, I think, during the middle of these matches, because every single second, every single call out matters. And hey, when that happens, yes, it might not go your way, but you got to be able to give the comms first, put your team ahead of yourself, and that just shows maybe a little bit of comms miscommunication coming on in from the side of Ironblood.
Yeah, and Ironblood in generally, we came back from that listening, and I was just kind of thinking that their comms in general were a little bit more sparse than the side of Electrify Steel. It wasn't maybe as consistent, there wasn't as much being said, but overall, I think they just sort of ran out of steam, ran out of gas going towards the end of that hard point. So as we go into Berlin here, I'm hoping for them to kind of be revitalized going into this next one, because they have the potential in S&D. They are a strong team in S&D, and I know that they can do well here. And, we just took a look at our featured player there for a second. It was going to be Mr. Confid here, sitting at the 95, a 99 in hardpoint, though. It doesn't get a whole lot better than that one. And you can see why when he plays hardpoint like that. But as we head into S&D, it's going to be a 92, his lowest mode. So maybe an opportunity here for Ironblood to squeeze in that 1-1 advantage here, or rather tied up score as we go into that map number 3. I think this one could really go the distance, though, Graf, either way.
Yeah, and especially on a map like Berlin, I love this map just specifically because you can run so many different types of strats, right? You can run out a sniper, you can full out run 4 submachine guns if you really want to, go right on in to that P1 A site, get the bomb down quick, or just kind of rush onto that B site. But it really is one of those maps you have to be decisive. You have to make sure your callouts and are on point. Is an information game mode, and just the way that the comms are sounding, you have to, I think, maybe now give that edge to the side of Steel because they just felt like they were humming on all cylinders. I think right now, if you're Ironblood, you need to take a step back, take a look at the bigger picture, say, hey, what do we need to do to be able to steal this map from the side of Electrify? It's going to be interesting what this one comes down to. Steel, they've been able to clutch on up, and I think in a few round 11s, but will they be able to do so against Ironblood?
Yeah, I think that's the big question in the air here, is that I've seen Electrify Steel play their S&D, and they seem a little bit more inconsistent in general, I feel like. You can look at some of their historical round 11s, various different occurrences in S&D throughout the league so far, and there's just been a few chokes on their end from that mode, and that makes me a bit worried here, especially against a strong Ironblood, and especially against a strong S&D Ironblood. But, you know, I think regardless, it's going to still be a neck-and-neck one, just like the first. It's going to be about who runs away with it at the end, though, as we get things kicked off here over towards Berlin, S&D. I'm excited, Graf. I don't know about you.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting because looking at the statistics here, I think Ironblood, they have a little bit of a better overall KD. I think Steel is kind of relying on one player quite a bit, and that will be Rep, who's sitting at a 2.09. Will he be able to recreate that type of success? And then you look at Mies as well as Khan at a 0.75. And then Khan had a 1.75, so it's really just like these highs and lows for Steel. I think they really need to buckle on down their strategies, be able to cover each other's angles as the trades. They are going back and forth, but they will give the edge to Steel.
Yeah, Steel having the edge right now. It's going to be Conway left in the 1 versus 2. It's doable, but not when you got the players flooding you. It's going to be Electrify Steel finding that last kill, making it a quick 1-0 advantage here in Berlin as we move on towards the next one. Though I think I want to point out that it's going to end up being hidden season, always making those big plays in S&D, I feel like, and especially on this map. Starts out 2-0. Half of the team gone to his name already in this first round, and you know, we talk about his 1v4, the famous 1v4 on Berlin that I actually casted. That was unbelievable. We know what this guy can do on this map, and I'm curious how he's gonna show it today.
And it looks like Steel, they're immediately just going to go over towards that A site, feeling a little bit of pressure, but it will be going towards that dock side, and I love when somebody gets on inside that B side because it's just so hard to clear them out. But either way, Conwa on the opposite side of the map ends up taking down 2, but can hit and at least find another. Mies watching over him, and so quickly into the 2v2. Conwa, he's trying to catch out least one of these players out on the backside. He gets a few shots. Mies, he's putting it to a tough position. Knew he had to push on out. Now it's going to be hidden. In a 1v2, they have all the information. He's going to go out and ego, but unfortunately, the trade is there. Ironblood. They will get the first blood, and they will secure it, tying it up at 1 apiece.
Yeah, and you know, when you're hidden season there's not much you can do. You're stuck inside of the site. You got 2 players knowing exactly where you are. They isolate, they execute, they get the kill. And not much you can do really in that situation, but hidden in general, still finding that 1 kill. He's shooting straighter than ever, as we usually see. And as we kick off into this next round, it looks like it's going to end up being Mr. Confid with the bomb over towards that B side. It seems like that's where Electrify Steel likes to go a lot of the time. And as nades go down and as shots ring through the air, it's going to end up being Ironblood maybe trying to find the first blood, but Mies, he goes big, able to find the first.
Yeah, and right now it just kind of slows down quickly into a 2v4, and this is kind of what it feels like. Just these 2v4s, and the other team finds two of their own. Conwa. Oh no! He just turns on to Con. My God! Just straight disrespect, but Hidden says, hold this nade, my friend. I'm going to avenge you. As Steel, they will clutch it up, but Conwa making a highlight reel, putting Con on the skates. An interesting gunfight going down on that B-side point.
Yeah, like we were talking about, this guy Conwa, he is a star player, and in S&D, we know the stars, they shine bright. And Conwa, he is a player that is a proven example of that. This guy will start going wild in S&D, especially when he lost a map one like that was so neck and neck. You know he is out for blood. You know, it is in the name, Iron Blood Gaming, as now they go on over towards this A site. It's time to get things going with Zapio, the new guy, bomb in hand, trying to get that plant down, but Electrify Steel, they're here. They catch a whiff of it, but Conwa, he's already out of 5. You gotta start worrying about streaks if you're Electrified, but Rek, he also finds another big one. It's gonna be the bomb planted, and now here comes the setup from Iron Blood, and here comes the attack from Electrify.
And I kind of like this setup. Number 2 Hidden. He's trying to work his way on in. But not giving him anything. Unfortunately, nobody watching the back of Zapio. And he gets that information of another player. Now quickly into the 2v2. The numbers were there for Iron. And now Mies, he finds Conwell with the pistol. And they should have a general idea of where this last player is. Did he scamper away? Or I'm not sure. Rek has just kind of been maybe playing it slow. Finds one. Mies looking to try to find this kill in time. Can he do it? Mies trying to punch it, but no! With the finesse, all he knew he had to do was stay alive, and he does it. As Iron Blood, Rek making the heads-up play, saying, I don't need to challenge this. I just need to make you come and chase me. That's exactly what he did. Even though he goes down, not enough time left on the clock. Iron Blood playing the smart game as they will tie it up at 2 rounds apiece.
And Aquatics, this guy has got the clutch factor. We've seen it before. We see it again. But Mies, the guy he was in the 1v1 with as well, also has clutch factor. And he's already sitting at 5-2 with the KD in this current matchup. And so I'm curious to see how he starts to turn up the dials. And now it's going to be Reciprocity finding that first blood. Man advantage to Electrify Steel right now as they head on over towards this B site once more. It's going to be Confid, though. Wanted to zap you as well, and now suddenly, in a haste, it's gonna be Gunny left in the 1 versus 4.
I mean, he does find his first kill. I just do not feel like he's gonna read this player already on that quick flank. It will be hidden, and he's still looking for him, but might have let him slip the net just a second. He might be able to find this kill, but Gunny... Oh, he does happen to get the spot. Now he's going hunting, and he's just waiting for his teammates to come in and support. The utility usage is there. Doesn't matter. Steel in the 1v4. It's going to be difficult for any type of situation. And honestly, if you're Mies, he's just able to finesse his life. We're talking he has those hot and cold spots, but he has been on fire for Steel so far.
Oh yeah, he's been hot for sure, and you can see as we switch sides, now it's going to be all about the continuation of that. You're up 3-2. You just got to start stringing some more rounds together, and then you close this one out, go up 2-0 in the series, and quite an unexpected manner. I feel like this one might go Game 5. We actually, fun fact everybody, have not had a single Game 5 in the AWL so far. Maybe this could be our first, but I think it starts with Iron Blood starting to get things going. As Electrify Steel, they get things going over towards this A site, but so does Iron Blood. It's going to be the offense on B, and it's going to end up being Aquatics finding that first blood. Man advantage here. You have the opportunity to tie it up, but it's Gunny in the site. He gets taken down. It's going to be equal. It's now going to be man advantage to Iron Blood, though. You do have the bomb down. You have that in your favor as well as the lives. And now it's Confid last up.
And Con, he's in the 1v3. Can he make it a 1v2 or 1v1? He got that opener, but he knows there's going to be somebody lurking in the back. Will he have any type of information of where he is? Unfortunately, it just does not seem like he has enough time left on the clock. He's going to maybe go out, find one, and he does. Oh. That will be Aquatic. Con, he's going to let that bomb go down. and explode wreck. All he needed to do was stay alive, and that's exactly what he did, and he will clean up the final one. Iron Blood, they might not have that first blood advantage, but they are keeping this game close.
Oh yeah, they're neck and neck still, as we had mentioned in the hard point, and that's exactly how I thought this series was gonna go. If this were to end up being a 3-0, it'd be the closest 3-0 ever, but I think the fashion suggests it goes to that game 5, as we had mentioned, but it's all about this next round. It's round number 7 here as we get things going. Towards the defensive side is going to be Iron Blood. We'll see what they opt to do. As Electrify Steel, we've noticed that they like this B push. They go there a lot, and it looks like they're going to do that again. It's Confid with Bomb once more. Now sitting towards Street, lurking, hiding, trying to find a player, but Conway, he wins that first gunfight. Hidden now with the trade, though. But information is going to be in the minds of Iron Blood. They know where he's going, but Hidden sees it, and he finds the kill. It's gonna be a 2 versus 2. Information just trying to be sniffed out by both of these teams, but Gunny, he's aware towards the top, finds the kill, and his teammate does so as well. It's gonna be a swift 2 versus 2 for Iron Blood as they go up 4-3 here.
Yeah, and it's just kind of interesting, Gunny having a little bit of an uncharacteristic S&D. He's overall been pretty solid throughout the year. But right now, he's only 2-6. He did find that big kill in the middle of the map, and that's kind of what he does. He kind of sits middle, is that information type of man, and maybe tries to catch some of those early flankers. But honestly, it's been kind of a brawling match onto this B side. They are challenging each other out. It just seems to be these 2v2 gunfights on either side of the map, and it will be Rek opening up onto Mies as he shuts him down here early. But Iron Blood also been favoring this B side. Now they're just kind of playing this one slow, playing the middle of the map. As Zapio, he will take out Hidden Season. Now quickly into the 2v4. That looks like they have that A site clear. Conway's trying to work on this flank, and he does have to look back. Should find that freebie, but player does stay alive. And now you know that there's at least one player on A. Should be wrapping this one back to B, and that seems like that will be the case.
Seems like it will be, as it's a spread map right now. 38 seconds left in the round as Iron Blood Gaming, they need to start finding their opening, their calling. Where is it going to be? It's going to be B, of course. The bomb getting planted by Zapio right now, but Reciprocity, he's searching. Conwa searching as well, but Reciprocity, he's there from the back, able to find that kill, but his teammates, they are gone. It's a 1 versus 3. Nothing you can do. You get shut down. It's 5-3 for Iron Blood, trying to tie the series up 1-1.
And that actually got a little bit scary at that moment because Khan, he almost found an opening, potentially could have taken down the bomb carrier. They waited so long to plant it. When you have that information, why wait? It's just kind of an interesting, make the other team have to make that play. And when time is winding down, the other team knows that you have to get a plant off and allow that player to kind of come on in. Luckily, they did have that coverage, but Iron Blood, they've ripped off, 3 rounds in a row now, and they're looking to make it 4 and at least be able to tie up this series at 1 apiece. Gunny, a big gunfight, but he will lose it. Rek, though, with the trade. Rek finds 2. Mies also there. It's still, everything is going down. Mies looking to clutch. Or excuse me, that will be Rep, as he will end up going down to Zapio. And does he pick up the bomb? Yes, he does, but look at this read. Look at this read by number 5, Conwa. He might get his information. Did he happen to spot him? No, he didn't.
Oh my. No way. It's
but
gonna
number
be
7,
the bomb
he might
count.
be able to find it. No, he doesn't. Zapio, he might
This is just the most.
go for it.
This is the most insane series of timings right now as Reciprocity sits towards Low Dog. Bomb down, finds the first kill. It's going to be Zapio last time. New guy for Iron Blood. Can you clutch it up here? Can you get them the win? It's 29 seconds. It's Reciprocity. Over the head glitch of the bomb shot. No, he finds the kill. He stays alive. Oh my goodness.
Oh, just talk about a heart-wrenching round. I think that was the ace for Rep, by the way. I don't think anybody else found a kill. He gets it done, and like you said, it just had to have been the Call of Duty timing at its finest. Kama just did not see him. Like, it must have been the smoke that covered the movement or something from the burning truck. That's just unfortunate. It gives Electrify Steel a little breath of life, but we talk about it time and time again. It just seems like they always go to these round 11s and they're looking to potentially push it on. Conwa gets caught. It will be hidden season, and now Reki will get the trade. Mies also finds Gunny on the opposite side of the map. That will be the A site secured, and I think Hidden knows that the bomb is down at B.
Yep, I think they do know that, and you can tell by the fact that Requatics, he's looking for these players and searching for the defenders. It is going to be Electrify Steel, though, with that 2 versus 1 advantage, trying to push that round 11. It's all on Zapio, though. Can he win it right here? 7-7. It's been a decent search and destroy for the kid, but it is going to be 40 seconds left. You gotta move here. You gotta get the bomb. You gotta get it planted. But like you said, Electrify Steel, they're cognizant of where this thing is. They just need to play around it. They're just inside of the site. This is a very, very hard 1v2 for Zapio. The players are spread, but if he can make magic happen, maybe he can achieve it, but he doesn't see the player towards back. Dice finds one for his efforts, but take it down, and Graph, we've got a round 11.
Oh my goodness, Steel there starting to melt down. Iron Blood, as it just seems like they have the coverage. I was about to say I would have liked to see them just double stack it and just kind of play some corners, but either way, they got the trade. Steel now back into it. Another round 11 for them. Can they clutch up again? It will be interesting to see. Mies 10-6, Hidden Season 11-7 on the other side. It just feels like the side of Ironblood, everybody putting in the work. Gunny having a little bit of a slow game. Him and Khan. It just seems like it's right now just a complete 3v3, not a 4v4.
For sure, and you can see it is all quiet on Berlin right now. Both teams slowing things down, knowing what's at stake. Ironblood knowing what's at stake. You could go down 0-2 in the series, having to reverse sweep, as it is all about who gets first blooded here. Ironblood, though, on the attack, as Requatics, he does find the first one. It's managed to the side of Ironblood Gaming. It is going to be 48 seconds left. You got a little bit of time to work with here, but Conway, can he find the next? He does! He finds 2, actually, and now it's suddenly all onto Hidden Season. It's a 1v3. We know what he can do, but it is not that strong of a defense from the side of Electrify Steel, but it is a strong one from Ironblood Gaming, and truly, they have got hearts of iron to be able to withstand the possible comeback of Electrify Steel in that Berlin.
Yeah, that was just a nail-biter to the very end, but that first blood, nobody watched middle of the map. Mies, he was left open through that fire. They ended up finding that gap. But before we head on into this map 3 Berlin control, we'll kick it to a short break.
Alright, what's going on, everybody? It's Conwa. Today I'm going to be going through Gavutu. A little bit of a preface. I have terrible call-outs, so anything I tell you to do in regards to communication, don't take that advice, but it should be good entertainment, alright? Just to start off, I'm a main sub. So, Gavutu sucks. This is the first call. This is Red Tower. This building right here, I call this green. This is P5. This is usually where I get to sit and do nothing for my team. This is top boat. Call that up there top third. They don't have that in competitive. That's so fun. This is I call this back elbow. You could call it jungle, something like that. This is P4. I love sitting in this hill and doing absolutely nothing. Oh, this is back rock. Anyone that sits back here with an AR, I hate you with every fiber of my being. You suck at COD. This is P3 right here. Anything in between here and here is P3. This is another one of those hills where my entire job is to sit right here and maybe peek up one more time. Say, nope, I'm still here, but you didn't kill me. This is a really fun spot. Shoot that out, and you can sit on this heady. It is so fun when I am a sub P1 trying to slide down to P3. I'm shouldering. I'm like, oh, there's no one there. There's no one here. I'm gonna go down, and then there's just a dude snaking that. If you do that, your parents are siblings. All right. All right. Good play though. Phase up, I can do it too. All right, guys. That's it from me. I hope you learned something. You probably learned how bad my communication skills are in the game. Thanks to Amateur World League, thanks to the Commish Epiphany, They're hosting a great league. Shout out to Ironblood. These guys are the goats over there, and that's it. Thanks. All right, what's going on, everybody? It's Conwa. Today, I'm gonna be going through.
Hello everybody, my name is Epiphany, representing the Amateur World League, and today I am joined by the Centec Gaming Group, Cincinnati Strikers.
Who can say where the road goes, where the day flows, only time. And who can say if your love grows as your heart.
You know, I'm too dog shit to be on the main team. Yeah, I suck too much, not good enough. Playing the sub role.
I play every role. I am the team pretty much. You won't see me with much time usually.
My name is Vigil. I play main sub on the team. I get like at least 2 minutes in time when I'm trying.
My name's Ize. I'm the main AR that can't hold spawns and doesn't rotate. I usually don't do nothing on the team except I just drop like a solid 2.0 KD most of the time.
All right, well, my next question for you guys is, how did your team come together?
Basically, see, I'm a team hopper. I was team hopping, and then I was with Vigil, and he was like, yo, we got this man named Mercury. He about to put us in the AWL, and then they picked up Salty because they think he's good, but like he's gonna stay on the sub. He won't play. And then we just have Vigil who just gets hill time.
This guy, bro. Thank
That's
God
about
I'm
it.
on the bench.
So my next question for you is, who do you see as your #1 team to beat during the Vanguard Major? Who do you have your eyes set on?
No.
Go
No,
against
no
Smokey.
play, no play. Yeah, because
no,
we got
yeah.
beef with him, bro.
No. ESG, absolutely.
Nah,
Fuck
that's a
fuck that
light
guy,
work
Tom,
match.
kid.
It's a light-
That
No,
guy
in all reality, it's every team pretty much. Every team can pretty much get it. We know whenever we're on it, like we're gonna come out and fry no matter what, as long as we're all clicking with shit together. And
Yeah, this clip is
doing
gonna
shit
get
now.
played when we get 3-0'd.
Hell yeah.
All right, everybody, and welcome back to the Amateur World League. My name is Epiphany, and I am joined today by the amazing Graph the Giraffe. And we have got a banger match on our hands. It has been a close Tuscan hardpoint to kick things off. Then a round 11 S&D win for Ironblood Gaming. This one has Game 5 written in the stars. Curious to see how this one goes as we head back on over towards Berlin once more for some control. And actually, after that, it'd be a Berlin hardpoint again. We'll see if Ironblood can string the Berlins together as we head into this next one.
Yeah, I think for this Berlin control, I do have to give the edge, I would believe, to the side of Electrify Steel. I think it's kind of more of a slay-heavy map, and I just have to give them the edge. They just seem so confident in that respawn, in that map 1. But going into the map 4, I will give it to Ironblood because they were having a lot of those rotational wins, and Berlin is a lot more difficult to be able to break those spawns, unlike the side of Tuscan, where you can find that one clean set of kills and usually be able to work your way on in. When Berlin, it's not necessarily the case because they're a lot more staggered. Their players are usually spread on out. So going on to the map 4, I still think it will be Ironblood pushing it to that map 5, to the Tuscan. And I mean, the first one on that Berlin S&D going to a round 11, I would expect basically the same into that Tuscan S&D.
Yeah, me too. And, you know, here's the thing as well that I'm very curious about with these two squads. The first being Electrify Steel and Ironblood. I think they do have a kind of similar playstyle. And what that implicates going into this one is that Electrify Steel, I think they go A a lot. Ironblood, I think they go A lot. I have a feeling that this one might be an attack-dominant game, and we know it's Berlin, how crazy it can be, but as we kick things off, I think it's going to be that A attack that I was talking about. It's going to be both teams here ready to brawl. It's going to be Conwa finding the first blood, though, as he tries to make an opening. It's going to be Ironblood, though, trying to find their way in still, but they are finding the kills. It's going to be Conwa over towards B now, as Electrify Steel, they do eventually clear house, but it is a strong B hold nonetheless.
Yeah, and immediately they all just run over to that B side hit. A was wiped clean, but look at Zapio making the play, maybe trying to find that opening. Will he be able to find one? Might be able to find the second. Unfortunately, he gets caught in between two players, does end up going down. If he found that second, that might have been blood in the water for the side of Iron Blood to maybe strike on over, but they will get that easy cap at B. What is it, like a 95 to 98% capture rate according to the CDL, but it will be rep finding those defensive kills. And as this map, we've said this time and time again, as this map has progressed over the season, teams have really kind of figured out what to do on offense and how to break these defensive setups. Everybody's really had to kind of change up their strategies. The biggest thing on defense, you just cannot go 4 down. If you go 4 clean down, it's over. You're not getting back into that point. Game, set, match. But teams have really been able to switch up their strategies on how they like to attack this A site.
Well, yeah, and the problem as well is the defense. They can push up that outer side, go back outer cars, and just sit there, spawn trap over towards the left side of the map, and really create the blunder. That's why that 4 down is so dangerous that you were talking about. You're so right, Graf. But as we talk about 4 downs, it's going to be Electrify Steel trying to achieve that as they try to hold a strong defense. And Khan, he's going for all the kills, shots into 1 more, but Aquatics, he's going to stay alive for the time being. Still a minute and 25 and declining for Iron Blood as they try to break their way into this A site. And now they finally do, but it is going to be a flurry of Electrify Steel players trying to get there as well. But it is a strong hold nonetheless from Electrify Steel, despite the time ticking. It is going to be Iron Blood now trying to get there faster and faster.
And I think Rep just straight up bailed Steel out of that defense because he ended up finding 3, and he was the last member left alive. He ended up finding those 3 kills, and now is on 4 in a row. He really allowed the side of Steel to work their way back on into the point, but Kanwa, ever since that slow map 1, he has not been missing many bullets as he goes out for a challenge on to Hidden, and now it's just going to become a Lives games. We were talking about this. It was a Slay-heavy type of team for the side of Steel. They are going for the throat. They are trying to push it on out. Blood, they are so far back. Nobody really in position to make a play in the aggression coming out from the side of Steel. They can push out as far as they want. 25 seconds. Iron Blood, you're going to have literally 1 good final push here. Will they be able to make the break? But Steel, they're winding up for that defense as well.
Yeah, and you can see Electrify Steel, they're doing exactly what we talked about. They're trying to push things out, but Iron Blood, it's 1 last attempt into the point. 1 last set of players down, as it's going to be a 3 kill for the side of Mr. Hidden Season, as now we get a convincing defense out of the side of Electrify Steel as we go into this next round. And Iron Blood, you just got to do the same. I don't think they got a single tick that round, so round 5 implications. Not too many wins, but you just got to do the same going into your own defense.
Now, Steel, you've said it time and time again, the A site, it's going to be maybe the heavily favored. This time, it looks like Steel, they're going to play it smart. They're just going to immediately go for that B site, overwhelm the one player that will be Zapio, as he's going to maybe catch out 1, and he will before the trade does come through. But if you're Iron Blood, I think the biggest thing is, they do find a few kills. You just don't want to throw away too many lives at this B site, and so far, they're really not doing so. They're winning a lot of their ones, able to maybe stagger this push, and the longer you contest this hill, the more frustrating it is for the side of the offense, because, you know, B is such an easy site to be able to get, but if you are getting shut down like they currently are, it is so frustrating to get anything going. Finally, it will be Rep on 4, breaking on into that B site.
Oh, it's always Reciprocity going big. He's able to find 2 kills off the bat there, but taken down eventually by Zapio. It is going to be a little bit of progress on B. Not a full tick though, but you are over toward this Hidden Season, holding strong, watching the window. This kill could be big. Doesn't win it. Iron Blood, they are able to break in once more, but that point of progress is going to go through. It's Reciprocity, always making the heads up play, always here. Wallbang though, taken down and bagged. It's going to be Iron Blood going for that break. It's a flurry of players. It's a cluster, and they clear them out. It is a clean house. Now pay attention over towards B, because that's where the battle's going to be taking place now. It's me is going big to find the kills, keeping his head head up and gun up, it's going to be Iron Blood Gaming as well, trying to clear this one out, or they might just opt to leave it alone, which looks like that's going to be their strategy. But now you got to worry about A, you get a minute on the clock if you're Electrify Steel, and you get a decent amount of time to take a few cracks at this A site.
Oh, goodness. I don't know how, but Hidden just won a ridiculous 1v1 against Rek, and he finds another on the outside. He is being so annoying on 5 in a row. Is he gonna gunny? Is he gonna chow him, and can he find the kill? Oh, and he is going for it, but Zapio, he comes in off a spawn. He will clean up that straggler in the backside, but while Hidden was doing all that damage in the back, his teammates were not able to get it done on the front line of defense, or on the front line offense, as it looks to be number 2, Zapio. Still kind of sitting in that close corner, will find one. But everybody from the side of Iron Blood, they are back onto this A site. Nobody really able to get any type of movement. The trades, they're going back and forth, but as long as you're staggering this hill, it means it's going to be most likely a defense for Iron Blood.
It is likely going to be a defense here, and it's the important thing to pay attention to here, though, is that the tick does come through for Electrify Steel, so they are up in those round 5 implications, right, Graph? But here's the thing. You still have 40 seconds if you're Electrify Steel to try to take a crack at this one, and like you said, though, likely Iron Blood Gaming, they're likely to close this one out, but it is going to be Confid making the big brain play, finding his way through the back. It could be the Avalanche, it could be the Collapse, but you gotta look left into the corner because Iron Blood Gaming, a player's waiting there, and Confid, he's making the big brain moves. He's watching the kills, able to find the first one, shots into the second, able to escape outer, though, his teammate hopefully to pick that one up, but look who has no respawns left. It's gonna be Iron Blood, ESG, none either, though. It is neck and neck right now, and this one's gonna come down to the kills, and the time is going. It's going. Rek, you can't get in, but Confid, you clutch it up, and it is gone. My goodness, what a clutch up, and maybe call that one Caster's Curse, Graph, but my god. 2-0 now for Electrify Steel. What a round.
We've said this, it's a momentum-based map, and you get those flurry of kills. They found 2 or 3 down at one point. They made their way on into it, but when the lives were dwindling, that just made Iron Blood have to flood to that A site. They weren't able to win any of those gunfights, but look at Blood. They're going right back to this A, but Steel, they have been ready and waiting for this every single time. They're just should be able to get a few of these trades and maybe slow up that initial push. Getting that first blood. Hidden will find the second, as it just looks like the side of Blood, they are getting taken down at this A site. As Hidden, he is running all over them. Are you kidding me? The man just takes down 4 as he gets it done at A site. He says no siree, and he was about to maybe find the 5th, but maybe a little bit weak. Rek did end up finding, but Steel, they are holding strong right now on that A site.
I mean, Electrify, they're trying to make this one their victory lap as they start to heat things up. It's going to be that big 4-piece from Hidden, allowing them to try to push up further and further, but as the trades go down, it's going to be Zapio still, though, on this B site. 48 seconds paused. It's going to be Conwa, though, also making his way through, also trying to make a dent in the Electrify Steel spawns as he's found his way towards P3 and now transitions over towards A, but it is going to be Electrify Steel being cognizant of this play. Here comes the collapse. Conway able to find one taken down eventually, though, and it is going to be the B site taken as well. As now Rek, oh my goodness, there's so many players there. You put a few shots into the crowd, but they do take you over eventually. It's Hidden season, finding one again. It's Zapio, though, with the 3 times as well, and Hidden, he continues to shut players down. It is going to be a minute and a half right now for Iron Blood to try to find their way through. Otherwise, Electrify, you're closing it out here.
Yeah, my god, once Zapio found that 3-piece, I thought it was over. Unfortunately, nobody was there. And I love that play that Conwa did because he found that kill and all he did was just kind of run to the point. And everybody from Steel, they kind of got caught with their pants down. They were turning around, looking for Conwa, allowed his teammates to find a few of those kills, but either way, when you have Hidden season clutching up, finding 2 or 3 kills at a time, it is just so difficult to be able to get that offense. But now, maybe coming down the lives, Hidden again. He is 28 and 18. Nobody being able to keep up with him. Me's having a little bit of a slow one. Same with Khan on Steel. As now it comes down to an 8v8. Can Ironblood this time clutch up on the side of Steel, as it will be Gunny working his way in through the back?
Yeah, it's going to be Gunny making that big heads-up play, but Reciprocity, he's also here on the Overlook, on the Overwatch, trying to find him, but does he have enough time? Because it is going to be Gunny making his way forward. He is here, he's ready to go, but I think he does get taken down. Yeah, he's off spawn now towards Outer as Electrify Steel. They are holding a strong defense, and Ironblood, you start to shake a little bit because your lives are going down. They're going away, and Wreck, you're the last man up. You can't do anything about it. Electrify Steel, they truly are electrifying right now.
Oh, and that is just one of those unfortunate situations with Ironblood. I don't know what it is about Steel where they just kind of put themselves into these fairly tough gunfights. Zapio, we get to see that nice 3-piece. Unfortunately, it did not amount to anything. Blood, they will go down 0-3, and that was kind of what I was expecting on the Berlin, a momentum-based map, and it was the side of Steel that rode it all the way to the W. As now they retake the lead in the series. They go up 2-1, but we're going to stay on Berlin for this map 4. We talked about it earlier. The rotations are going to be a little bit more crucial, which I think the advantage did go to the way of Ironblood in that map 1 Tuscan. Unfortunately, they got broke a little more few times than they would like, but can they be able to just lock them down? You have a little bit more long lanes of sight. You can see what's coming instead of, these close corners like a map like Tuscan.
Yeah, and I just want to point out Hidden going 29 and 19 in that Berlin right there. And those kills, they were all for something. Keep in mind, it's all about the lives when it comes to Control. And he was depleting those lives, and he was saving his own life for his team. That is a huge, huge thing. And so that is the kind of players that need to stand out to try to win this series. And it seems like Electrify Steel, they are doing just that. Now Ironblood, they need to start making some of those big individual plays too, though. You need to start heating things up if you're Conway even more. You need to start going wild if you're, for example, Wreck. Those are the big things that you gotta live up to, and especially Wreck. 93 overall score right now, highest on the team. And Zapio, you gotta prove yourself as the new guy around as well, but it is going to be an 88 overall for Ironblood. They do have that #1 score ranking right here, so they gotta live up to that name, and I think they can, and I think they can tie it up here and push that first Game 5 ever in AWL going into this hardpoint.
And looking at these stats, can you really rate Hidden at a 75? That just seems like that's a rookie number. I think those stats might be a little skewed. Josh at a 72. I mean, a minimum of 80 I would give that man. I would put Hidden at least at a 90 plus. So kind of interesting to see how the overall is ranked. I do give the edge here to Ironblood. They were looking so good on those rotations. But honestly, right now, it's kind of coming down to the submachine gun prowess. Khan and Kanwa, they have really been just going at each other's throats. So far in the S&D, it was Kanwa. In the respawns, it's been Confid. You get to see it. He is 96 in the control, a 99 overall in the hardpoint. You just really can't deny those types of numbers, especially in the Tuscan. He was getting a lot of that hill time, which you don't necessarily see too often, but when you have a team chemistry where you're able just to be able to rotate those players in and out of the point and don't necessarily need a super soaker, it makes all the difference.
Yeah, it is that Con v Con battle to pay attention to, and we'll see how it goes as we go into the next hard point. But before we do so, we're going to go to a very quick break. When we come back, more Berlin action.
All right, what's going on, everybody? It's Kanwa. Today, I'm going to be going through Gavutu. A little bit of a preface. I have terrible call-outs, so anything I tell you to do in regards to communication, don't take that advice, but it should be good entertainment, all right? Just to start off, I'm a main sub, so Gavutu sucks. This is the first call-out. This is Red Tower. This building right here, I call this green. This is P5. This is usually where I get to sit and do nothing for my team. This is top boat. Call that up there top third. They don't have that in competitive. That's so fun. This is I call this back elbow. You could call it jungle, something like that. This is P4. I love sitting in this hill and doing absolutely nothing. Oh, this is back rock. Anyone that sits back here with an AR, I hate you with every fiber of my being. You suck at COD. This is P3 right here. Anything in between here and here is P3. This is another one of those hills where my entire job is to sit right here and maybe peek up one more time. Say, nope, I'm still here, but you didn't kill me. This is a really fun spot. Shoot that out, and you can sit on this heady. It is so fun when I am a sub P1 trying to slide down to P3 and I'm shouldering. I'm like, oh, there's no one there, there's no one here, I'm gonna go down, and then there's just a dude snaking that. If you do that, your parents.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back as we took a little bit of a short break, as right now it is the side of Electrify Steel 2-1 up against the side of Ironblood. Steel, they did get handed their first map loss. It was in that round 11 Berlin S&D. They currently sit at 3-0. Now with 11-1 map count, Ironblood, they did get handed 2 losses. Can they be able to complete this map 4, get it to that map 5? But just the way that Hidden is shooting, it's so hard to be able to slow a player of that type of caliber down. Do you think the side of Ironblood's going to be able to get this one done?
Yeah, I mean, Hidden is just going wild right now. He's trying to win this one. He's trying to close it out right here. And so you ask, is Ironblood going to be able to get it done? I feel like it would only be characteristic here if Ironblood wins the second hard point. I think that might happen. That's what I'm going to go with, Graf. I'm going to go with the first Game 5 in AWL. That's what I'm going to say, but we'll have to see, as, you know, it's all about those rotations again, right? Berlin, very rotation-heavy map. If you screw up P3 rotation, you can lose that big money hill, can get hurt in the points department very, very easily. If you screw up that P4 rotation as well, it can also hurt you a lot. I think there are some very, very important hills within this specific map that you gotta be careful about if you're either of these teams.
Yeah, exactly, and it's just really going to come down who wants it more. And I like the fact that you point out there's been no Game 5s in the AWL, and that just kind of shows the skill gap between these teams. Currently, it's New Threat, Ironblood, and not to mention the Electrify Steel. They are clearly the cream of the crop. But when you look at these other teams in the pools, it's really nobody showing out. 0-2 from the bottom 2 teams. That's just not what you like to see. You want to see a little bit more evenness coming on in. But these teams, they have absolutely stacked rosters, and sometimes it's so hard to be able to compete with the slave power. And the one thing I do want to point out that makes that next step from becoming a top amateur to a professional is having those comms as well as those utilities. I'm not sure if anybody heard, is that Seattle Surge are the best at using their utilities. They would literally throw, what was it? They have to throw 10 perfect grenades and land it in a spot before they are able to get off the game. And I think some of those amateur teams should maybe take that into consideration during their scrims, because it just allows yourselves to get those opening breaks. If you did not have grenades, it's going to be so difficult to be able to break on into those hills. And so far, it is Electrify Steel. I don't think really the utilities have come out either way for both these teams. They're not really much of a difference maker, but still, I think they have a little bit of an edge.
Yeah, I think people forget about the utility in general in the AM scene and even in the pro scene sometimes. I mean, you have it there, but teams don't really fully recognize it. That is a great point, Graf. We'll see how those are used right now as Hidden. He's got a nade in his hand ready to go. He's also got a pistol too, not going to result in a kill though, but it is going to be Ironblood getting onto the point here early on. And I can tell you, when I was in my days of where I was actually playing, utility was something that I was told to use every life, but it can be such a hard thing to remember, and it has been used properly early on by Ironblood. I've seen a few nade kills so far, but it's reciprocity with the beatdowns though too, as now Electrify Steel, they find their way into the point. They dip their toes in this P1, and it's going to be already about that race to P2.
And look who's already set up and ready for it. It was Rep. He does get traded. So like that play from Ironblood, they're kind of been sticking together, making sure their trades have been going their way. It's tied at 21 apiece. Zapio, he does happen to find his way on in. So maybe they're just going to let him go rogue because it felt like he was a little bit of that Super Soaker in the map 1. They didn't know how comfortable he felt on it. And now they're just saying, hey, man, go out there, get the kills when you need to. And so far, Ironblood, they get that early break into the P2. And I think the one team that is really going to be interesting to watch when the playoffs comes around is going to be New Threat. We've seen them. I think they're the #1 team in that P2 hold. They kind of remind me a little bit of 100 Thieves. Deal right now. They're trying to find their way on in, but Ironblood, they are looking like they are becoming the Thieves themselves.
Oh yeah, for sure. And honestly, you look at the scoreline right now and it's already panning out to be one of those close games. However, Ironblood trying to extend that lead early on here. It's 51-22 and counting in their favor as you already start to look at that P3 rotation on your minimap. It's going to be Electrify Steel there and ready to go, but it's going to be Conwa going big for the 2 as he now wraps his way up towards top court side, taken down eventually. But it is Electrify Steel still staying strong in the point, but Ironblood, they try to find their way through again. It's Confid though, still holding strong as top court is where all attention's gonna be at right now as it's a full flood now through Fire 2. Ironblood, they're trying to collapse onto this one. It's 40 seconds here to be gained for either of the teams. It's still a precious P3 money hill, but we know how hard this one is to break, Graph.
And so far, Zapio again, he will find 2. He finds that opening con, but Zapio gets the 3rd. Can he find the 4th? Zapio goes massive, but what does it count for? Almost nothing, as it will be Steel having those spawns, and they will get the rest of that scrap time as nobody was in position. Zapio, oh my god, he is just hitting beams right now. He is not missing. But Electrify Steel, they get basically a full 60 right there. They find themselves within 5 points. The rotation is there for Ironblood. Is Rek going to be able to win this big 1v1 on the backside as he will take down Khan? A big 1v1 will secure the spawns for now, but Mies, he worked his way on in. Can he find that opening? Now all he needs to do is stay alive, find that opening pick, maybe take the player off a point, but Kanwa, he got that call out, he found it, and Blood, they are holding strong.
They're holding strong indeed, and talk about holding strong. Ironblood, they have a stronghold on the hill, but Confid looking to break through, and oh my goodness, turns around, finds another one. Maybe can he find the next kill? Not quite, taken down. It's gonna be his teammate as well too. Reciprocity finding that kill onto Confid, but it is still going to be enough effort because Electrify Steel, they find their way into the hill. It's gonna be 3 minutes 47 on the game clock. Lots of time for this one to pan out. Lots of time for Electrify Steel to try and get past here in the lead. It is 90-69. It's a pretty neck and neck game, and now Reciprocity, he starts to try to go big through the middle of the map, get that rotation onto P5, and it looks like that's about to happen, but Ironblood, they start finding some of the kills. It's Electrify Steel, still holding strong though for the time being. We'll see what Ironblood can concoct right now.
I think this is the biggest rotation so far. The game is this P5 to P1. If you are able to get on in there early and lock it down, it is so difficult. When a full team is set up on that P1, you can really do some damage and get that full 60. And I think on almost every single hard point, it is that P5 to P1 that really makes the difference in the game, the second half of rotations. And so far, when it looks like Steel has an open, who has been the guy making the play? It's actually been Zapio. He has been finding those individual gunfights, been winning them, and just stripping away any time Steel has been trying to get. Unfortunately for the side of Ironblood, it will be Steel's point on this P1 for that second set. Gonna be interesting to see Zapio. He's gonna be that player. Will he be able to find the opening? He is flying on in. He will find it. And look at that. It is Ironblood Gaming punching their way through the front. Steel, they were not able to hold it. Did Zapio just throw that grenade back at him? He is doing it all for the squad.
We'll see if Electrify Steel can punch their way through now, but Ironblood Gaming, they are making their stronghold on the point. It's Kanwa for 3, though. Not going to be easy to break through when he's going massive. It's going to be 25 seconds left and counting, and Kanwa, he continues to go wild. I thought he was going to get that kill there for a second, but damage is in. It's going to be the rotation, though, for Electrify Steel. It's Ironblood now trying to find their way through as Kanwa, 18 and 13 right now, putting on a show. Give him yet another. It is a consistent series of kills for this guy off of Respawn, taken down eventually by Mies, but it is a vacant hill right now as both teams lurk and wait to get the time. It's going to be Gunny on first, but he gets taken down. It's Electrify Steel organizing their break-in.
I just want to point out how massive the 2 kills that Mies got on that backside dock. I don't know how he did it, but he found 2, and that just allowed Steel to even have a chance on this point. If he didn't win it, it was all going to be the side of Ironblood, but now it's a big, heavy contest fest. Khan, he finally breaks double-digit kills, an uncharacteristic game. He is known as the Beezy of this team. We said it, Kanwa versus Khan. Kanwa has been absolutely frying. You saw it on that P1, and it will this time be Mr. Confid himself, the player to watch, as he will get hit up by that nade. Gonna back on in. Steel, they get a much-needed 30 seconds on this point. Unfortunately, Kanwa will go down. The rotation is there for Ironblood. Their turn to potentially put this game away, put the game out of reach. Everybody from the side of Electrify Steel, they are so far away, and you need to be able to win these gunfights.
And that's what we were talking about. The rotations are so important in this Berlin hardpoint, and you can see it right here. Ironblood, they get there first, but Electrify Steel, they're trying to break their way through. But of course, in a characteristic manner of the series, with how close these teams are, Ironblood, they have the lead now. They're looking to push that game number 5, and it's Electrify Steel now trying to push their way through the hill. It's 118 and counting for Electrify Steel as 20 seconds remain. It's got to be that P4 rotation, though. Take a look at number 2 on your minimap. It's Hidden Season, already finding his way through. It's going to be that big battle towards the back. It's going to be the heads-up plays like this that can get Electrify Steel back into this one and kicking. But it is going to be Ironblood still extending that lead as they try to get the rotation because number 7, Zapio, the new kid, he's already there.
Oh, and I thought Hidden maybe had the play, but he actually does. He got stun checked. They had the information. Unfortunately, the player, that was Zapio, not quick enough to make it off the point. And if Hidden stays alive, this just allows his team to be able to work their way up, and he finds another kill. Is he going to be able to find the 3rd? This will be the game decider, but I want to point out how big that break was on the P3. Ironblood maybe only got about 10 points, and more time went to the side of Steel. They get the break again, and they are finding the kills. And this is what makes them so deadly. At any point in time, they can flip this game on their head. They are finding these kills. Rep getting maybe close to streaks. Unfortunately, wasn't able to find that kill, but Ironblood, they find a few major seconds here. They will break that 200-point marker, but Steel, they are still nipping at their heels.
They're nipping at their heels indeed, and now they got to get their heels moving over towards P5. Who's there already? It's Ironblood game and trying to close this one out, but it is a back and forth hill, and it is back and forth gunfights as Mies finds one, traded out eventually. It's Requatics though with the 5 spree. Possible streaks on the horizon for him. He's just got to play his life as Zapio. He starts grinding the time away right now, and it's Electrify Steel's time to try to break in, to try to close this one out by a miracle, it seems, at this point, because they are down so many points. Ironblood, you want to push that game 5 and wreck with the 3-time multi-kill, making sure that they do so.
And this is so difficult for the side of Electrify Steel. Anytime you get for blood, it is going to be so difficult for Steel to even have a chance in this game, as they are just finding kill after kill. Does not seem like any of the gunfights for Steel are going their way. Finally, a few seconds are there, but blood, they are on the rotation. This time, they might get broken. Wreck, once again, the last player. Can he find it? No, it will be Rep. So Steel, they maybe delay the inevitable as you're only 10 seconds away from Ironblood Gunny, he has the help of a few other players. Hidden Season, you are a phenomenal player. I just do not know if he's going to be able to find any of these kills. He's staying alive for now, but the kills, they are lighting up for Iron Blood, and they are going to push it to a map 5.
Oh, yeah. We're going to game 5, baby. And I gotta tell you, it's the first one in the AWL, and what an amazing series this has been. Graph, I hope you agree, because this one is truly neck and neck, back and forth. But here's the thing, when you have a player going 19 and 27, and especially a key player like Hidden Season, you need to worry a little bit if you're an Electrify Steel fan, or even Hidden Season himself going into this game number 5. But you slow it down for some S&D, you start to try to get a little bit of momentum going. We'll see how this one goes, though, as we head back on over towards Tuscan.
Yeah, the big player I want to point out, getting some MVP, it was Rek and Zappio. Zappio had a phenomenal start to that map, slowed down, but right as he did, Rek, it seemed like he was finding 2 and 3 pieces across the map. And with a team like Steel, it felt like they were just a little bit discombobulated, unlike they were in Tuscan, where it seemed like every single kill that came through, a trade was there. Unfortunately, does not go their way in that map 4. Now we're going to be heading on into the Tuscan S&D. Like you said, it is the first map 5 of the AWL, and really came down round 11, map 2 for the side of Iron Blood. Can they hand Electrify Steel their first long, and vice versa? I guess just who do you have the edge right now coming at the end of this series?
That is a really hard question, Graph, because it has been so unpredictable left and right. But you know, when you look at this S&D, you look at the previous S&D, okay? You have a Berlin, alright? You bring it to that round 11, Iron Blood, they clutch things up and they go over towards that game 3. You had a very good series of rounds if you're Electrify Steel, but you still lack in the S&D. If I'm gonna be honest with you, I think Iron Blood Gaming are taking this one just because they clutched up in the last S&D. I think they can do it again.
I mean, as much as I want to say Iron Blood have this, I gotta go with, I think, the favorite of this series. I gotta go with Electrify Steel.
All right.
They've done it time and time again where they have clutched up in those round 11s going into Tuscan. I'm not sure who got that ban earlier, but both of these two teams, I saw they banned Gavutu on almost all of their maps. Not necessarily in S&D, of course, but it's maybe you're favoring your submachine guns over your ARs. Confid, he had an abysmal map 4. I'm not sure where he kind of finished on that score line, but he wasn't necessarily doing hot. Like you said, Hidden Season also not having a very good game. I do not expect that to be the case in S&D Tuscan, where these teams, they're able to maybe slow the pace down. Hidden, he has been so good at finding those first bloods. I expect him to put up some highlight numbers. I'll say it right now. I think the side of Hidden Season is going to take over this game. He's going to go 13-5, as the side of Steel are going to take it in 6-4.
All right, that's a very specific, very specific call there, but I like it because imagine it happens and then Graph gets all the praise on Twitter, which would be well deserved, of course. But we'll see what goes on here, because if I'm going to be honest with you, the casters, they are bent. We're both calling different teams here, and the players, though, they are going to decide right now which one of us is right, which one of us is going to be the right prediction. But now it's all about that initial attack if you're Iron Blood Gaming to start things strong. And Kanwa and Gunny, they're both doing so. It's the nades, it's the headshots. You find that 2-man advantage already. It's going to be 4-2 for Iron Blood Gaming as they try to get that bomb planted. It's going to be Zappio over towards the B site right now, as it's going to have to be the retake by Reciprocity and Mr. Confid over towards B, as it's going to be 4 players up. This is not an easy one, Graph.
No, and they got to work fast. I think they got the information. One player's on the stairs, and you just have to fly. 30 seconds left. You have to find all 4 of these kills. Conway's coming in on the flank. He does happen to get spotted, so now they have the information. Gunny takes down Con, though. Gunny finds the second onto Reciprocity. Iron Blood, they will take that first one, and Conwa, my God, I just want to point out that first blood. He absolutely scalped hidden season on that box in the middle of the map to find that kill. Absolutely nasty as Ironblood. They do grab it for that first round. I do want to point out in that map 2, it was 6-5 First Bloods to Ironblood, and they clutched up into 6-5. So these teams, whoever gets First Blood is most likely coming away with the game.
For sure, and the first blood percentages, I believe, are pretty equal between both of these teams, as we'll see who's able to draw first round. It's going to be Zapio finding that first blood, but Reciprocity immediately for the trade, and so do a few others go down. It's going to immediately be a 2 versus 2, as Gunny, he goes for the next one. He goes for the other as well. It's going to be a big series of kills for Ironblood. They are coming out strong, and they are looking for blood.
And this is what I am talking about. The seasoned veteran. When it comes down to the wire, you have Gunny, who has been on the scene for a moment. He has been looking fresh. He had not a very good map, too. Starts off 5-0 for Ironblood. Steel right now, they are getting melted down. Currently, they are absolutely needing to find any sort of life. And right now, it is wreck. Everybody hitting the shots, and they all go down, repping a 1v4. Can he clutch this one up? But it looks like Ironblood Gaming, they are feeling so confident. I do not see them losing this round.
Well, as they say, may the odds be ever in your favor, but it seems like they aren't for Reciprocity here, as it's going to be a bomb all the way down, time ticking, and now you're done. It's going to be Reciprocity getting shut down again there, and it's going to be a 3-0 advantage here for Ironblood Gaming. They're trying to close this one out in the game 5, trying to get the upset, or maybe you could just call an overcome against Electrify Steel. However, it is going to be a momentum-based team here against this Ironblood Gaming squad. Electrify Steel, they get a few rounds going. You know they can heat up, huh, Graf?
Yeah, Gunny, though, he gets a glide bomb, so that basically just gives you a bunch of information. The one thing I do want to point out is just the aggression. They're meeting aggression with aggression. Steel, they do have the bomb. They're just flying towards this B site. They should be able to get it down. Hidden is 0-4 at the moment, so maybe my call not looking so good as he does get blooded again. It is wrecked, but everybody on Ironblood, they just are not simply missing shots. As another player will go down, it's another 2v4. Rep has to pick up the bomb as now they're going to work their way in towards top. Radio, Wreck, he will go down. Mies finds a second as now he quickly gets it into a 2v2. A big play from Mies, getting that 2-piece, gets the numbers at even. If you are Gunny, you have that glide bomb. Do you maybe try to use it and just get that information of where these players are? But no, they do get spotted. It is Zapio. He's going to decide to go in, but it will be Wreck getting beat, or Zapio getting beat down by Rep. Bomb gets rotated, and here comes the glide. And that's a good call. That's a good call, but can they both get away? I think they will. As Gunny, though, he has that information. Now, both of these players in a 1v2. Can Gunny clutch up? Because he is currently 7-0. He needs this round, I think, to potentially put away Electrify Steel.
He's trying to put him away. He goes for the child for the first. Can he find the second, though? It's Reciprocity towards backfield. It's a 1 versus 1. Time ticking in the favor of Mr. Reciprocity himself. But look who's on the bomb. It's Gunny. Thank goodness there's not a crowd because they'd be revealing it. Doesn't get it in time. He goes for the child and he's able to win it. Wait, he got the bomb. Ironblood Gaming, they go up 4-0 after the closest ninja defuse I might have ever seen since Toronto Ultra on Express in Cold War. Oh my goodness.
Oh my god, again, it is the veteran going massive. He hopped the bomb right when he needed to. Unfortunately, Rep was not able to get there in time. Oh, that is just so difficult. If you are Steel, you need to slow down. It just feels like they are trying to run at him and head bash their way in. It just has not been going their way. And look at this call from Steel. They are pushing all the way around the back. Are they going to be ready for this? I don't think so. Season will even it up to 2s. Not going to be able to win the gunfight again. It is Kanwa. But Gunny is 10-1. He is looking again to just put the side of Electrify Steel away.
He's trying to bag him and tag him right now because he is going wild, turning things up after a lackluster start to the series. Now is starting to be that leading man for Ironblood, and you know, you gotta tip it right now. If you are Electrify Steel, you're trying to do everything you can. You're trying new things. You're trying new strategies, like that wrap around the back that you were talking about. But it's Mies in the 1 versus 2 again. Does he have the ice this time? Is the timing gonna be in his favor? No, it is not. Ironblood, they're looking for the 6-0. They are at series point right now, and they are trying to close this one out.
And maybe the woes of Electrify Steel continue. It just seems like this hasn't been their greatest mode. They go down to the 6-5, and that's got to be in their minds. But imagine a full sale. You do not see it too often, and especially really not in the amateur scene either. But when you have Gunny 11-1, the guy just simply is not missing, and he's just going to go out for the challenge. And again, Hidden Season gets blooded, as it is numbers there to Ironblood. Mies in reps, and Zappy almost found the kill. Mies, can he clutch up? He gets 2. My God, he's the only player who is shooting back from Steel.
Jeez, it's gonna be a 2 versus 1 for Electrify Steel, but it is a close one indeed because Gunny is who you're up against. You are up against John Wick himself. My goodness, it's gonna be a hard task if you're Gunny, though. Still, it's 2 players up. You get the one behind, though, but it's an immediate trade for Mies, and it begins. It's the first round. Can it happen, Graf? Do you believe? Do you want to call it right now?
I don't want to be calling anything after my initial prediction because it is already out of the window.
Fair.
I think Hidden Season is sitting at a 1-6, so don't want to be calling out anymore. But Gunny, he is 12-2. Mies, he actually got the ace on the round, so he was literally the only player shooting back from Steel. You have Hidden Season and Khan, your 2 superstars on this team with a combined 2-12. You just simply cannot have this happen in a premier match like this one. Ironblood, can they clutch this one on up? But it will be the side of Steel drawing their first blood of this S&D as it quickly comes to a 3v3.
3v3 right now. It's going to be Constant towards the middle of the map and Hidden Season on his Overwatch, but it is still going to be a little bit of a standstill right now towards the middle of the map, but look at the top side of the church. It's going to be Gunny making the big play. Looks down, finds the first kill. Can he find the second? Not quite. It's going to be a 3 versus 2, though. Man advantage to Ironblood Gaming. They're trying to close this one out right here. Requatics towards the middle of the map as well, and now it is Reciprocity last alive right now. Could it be the first Game 5 win? Could it be the win for Ironblood Gaming? Bomb going to go down towards the B side. Reciprocity, is he going to check it in time? No, he is not. Shots into one player towards the top. It is going to be Ironblood Gaming trying to just flood, close it out. Reciprocity, can you do it? Can you clutch it up? Can you go to that next round? No, you cannot. Ironblood Gaming, they are made of iron. They have stole the match, and they have stolen it in the Game 5. It is going to be the first Game 5 of AWL at Ironblood Gaming. They have looked like a new beast now.
Oh my God, 16-2!
Oh, they're gone.
Oh no, a 1700 damage. This man put on the Mystery Ranch Osprey backpack, whatever you want to call it. He locked everybody on in. The veteran going massive, and you love to see it, as it will be Ironblood clutching on up in the map 5. And I mean, they didn't even really clutch up on the map 5. It was a beatdown. They didn't even give them a chance. They pummeled them into oblivion. But congratulations to Ironblood. They take down Electrify Steel, the #1 team in the league. As I think Ironblood, they are now, I think you have to solidify themselves as the #1 team.
For sure, and you overtake Electrify Steel really close to playoffs. If you're an Electrify Steel fan, a player, you're worried, especially if you get beat down in S&D like that. The adaptability from this Ironblood squad has to be so good if they want to just go from a round 11 win to a beat down, as you said, on this S&D, and then they start to get things going in the hard point as well. There's a lot to look at for both of these teams, but if you're Ironblood, you're feeling good about the win, and I'm sure Kanwa is as well. We're gonna go to an interview with him after this short break.
Actually, already in. Kanwa,
All right.
congratulations on the win. An absolutely incredible series. You had a little bit of a slow start on that map 1 and map 2. I guess, what were you guys saying in the comms, especially after that map 3 where you guys got 3-0'd on the Berlin? How were you feeling going into that map 4 Tuscan?
So, map 4 was Berlin. We just went in there and we. How do I let me start from the beginning. Tuscan map 1. I just got hork slammed. I'm gonna be honest. I just pulled in like I just moved into my college dorm 2 days ago, and I locked myself out of my dorm room. So I'm sitting there like with piss running down my leg because I can't get back into my room. So I'm like trying to like call people, trying to see like who can get me the keys and get in all this shit. So I'm sitting there freaking out, and I'm like, everyone's like waiting on you, and I'm like, okay, I'll be there. So then I go in there and I get hork slammed that first map. So that wasn't good. Second map, I turned it up a little bit, and the team played. We just like trolled a couple rounds, but we felt really confident in our S&Ds. The control, I don't know. We just got shit on. There's really nothing to it. They just were just like shooting the gun straighter than we were. So then, but I think that was more so. I think they were shooting the gun straighter more so because of like the way that we were playing. If that it sounds weird, but like because I just went into that next game and I was like, yo, like. We just need to fucking shoot our guns straighter. I was like, that's it. We're just coming up flat. Like, let's come out with some passion. And they're like, okay, bet. And so then like it was just like kind of building off the momentum. Just like our comms were a lot better in that map 4, and just the guns were you know, actually shooting. So that was good. It was just all momentum, and then that obviously carried into that last map. Holy shit, I didn't have to do anything. None of us had to do anything. Gunny got 16 kills in 7 rounds of S&D. I've never seen anything like that. It was literally every round. Like in that last round, I was in that 1v2. Even when he called, we were just like, yo, just big dick that glide, bro. Just call it in. It doesn't even matter if you don't get the 2 kills. You're just still gonna win this round. And then he wins the round. And I was just like, this is nuts. Dude, so him and Narcotic are just disgusting at S&D. It is so fun playing S&D with them because that's my worst game mode. So yeah, that was really it. It was just we all had to get on the same page. That's usually what our problem is, and that just comes with practice. And we just weren't on the same page. And as soon as we got on that page together, it was pretty easy to take care of business those last 2 maps. So that's all it was.
Yeah, I mean, that was a wild last game right there, and Gunny, he was going nuts. I'm sure the passion was in the comms for sure. And, you know, I just want to, yeah, right? And I just want to ask you, you know, there's a big transition in Search and Destroy. You did win both of the S&Ds within the series, which has always been a struggle for Electrify Steel, right? But I gotta ask you, when it comes to a 6-5 win versus that big 6-1 win, I believe it was at the end, what was the adaptability like?
Yeah, so it's kind of something. It was similar just to what I mentioned. It's that it's really we're very like we just have to get on the same page kind of team, and it's like when our comms are below average or just like I don't know. It's just sometimes we just get in like this lull. Like if you ever watch like I don't know, like they always say like the third quarter in a football game, you can't get into a lull in it because the other team will take advantage of that, get momentum, and win in the fourth quarter. And it's kind of like that. It's just that's kind of what we just did right there. Is they had all the momentum early, and I was like, look, you know, it's a best of 5. You know, these kids are actually going to shoot back. They'll make it interesting. So we need to get the momentum in our favor, and we need to make them adapt to how we're playing. And instead of trying to just work around what they're doing. So instead I just the very first round I just said, look, let's play info, see what they do, and from that we're just gonna commit. And then as soon as we do that, we're just making quicker decision making, or faster decision making. And as soon as we started doing that, and we just out teamworked them through our pace and through our teamwork, it was super easy to take care of business. So it just comes because when you get to the top like 128 teams in the world and challengers, which these kids are under 18, but if they were, they'd be, you know, borderline top 32. everyone can shoot back. It's a matter of who's gonna out teamwork you. And that comes down to mental. And if you got to have stronger mental than the other team, because mental is 80% of the game. So that was it. It was just we weren't on the same page, and as soon as we got on the same page, we were able to take care of business pretty handedly.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love what you point out, saying, hey, once we got on that same page, you were able to, consistently get those rounds and string them together. Like you said, you trolled a few rounds, but once you got on that same page, you absolutely finished reading the book, and it was game, set, match. Absolutely. After that, you closed it up relatively quick. And I like how you say you changed up the pace of the game. In the Tuscan, you were actually rotating extremely well. It just seemed like, maybe the comms, the communication wasn't quite there. You're getting broken relatively easy. I said it on that Berlin. You guys were winning those rotations, and you just put yourselves into those favorable gunfights. In the slave power, honestly, I still have to give it the edge to Electrify Steel when it comes to Gunny. Like you said, it's shooting back. Everybody's able to do it. They have that slave power, but the mental fortitude coming on in, you could tell they were maybe starting to waver after that map 4. You're out positioning them. It was absolutely incredible. And when it came to that map 6 or that map 5, you guys just looked so dominant. You were allowing them to play right into your hands, and you grabbed, I think, 6 out of the 7 first bloods. So relatively easy for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, when Gunny, that's kind of what it is. You kind of hit the nail right on the head with like those kids, like they have very raw natural gun skill. So, and I don't know, there's just something about our team where we come out flat a lot if we don't have the momentum. But we still have pretty good teamwork. So if we just increase the speed of our decision making and just one person shoots just like they should, it's so easy. Like when Gunny takes over like that, the rest of us were sitting there with our thumbs up our ass that whole map. Like we didn't have to do anything. You know what I mean? It's just, and it was like I turned up, like I didn't go crazy in the Berlin, but like I actually shot back as opposed to the Tuscan, and the rest of the guys did the exact same thing that they did map 1. It was just a matter of me just not shitting the sheets, and we beat them pretty handedly. So that's all it is for us, and I think that's what it is for most people too.
Yeah, for sure. And I gotta say, you guys were just electric. And there was a new guy on your squad too. It was your new addition as of tonight. I think Zappio, right? And he was, having some very consistent numbers throughout that entire series. I really noticed in the control he was doing everything he could to help the team out, as well as in that S&D throughout the whole series. Just a consistent player. Now I gotta ask you though, what's the story with the new player? What's the decisions that were made? And just fill everybody in on this new Ironblood here, semi-new Ironblood.
It just kind of came down to our previous player just had decided that he wanted to pursue some other things that he felt a little bit more passionate about than competing in Call of Duty, and like this wasn't his end all be all of it, but it's part of his it's a part of his competitive lifespan. So he just decided to remove everything competitive COD from what he's doing, and this was just one of those things. So we were looking just for a replacement, and Zappio is a really safe bet. He's Gunny Fire's brother, and we played with him earlier this year. We've gone to this squad of 4 has gone to multiple events together. So it just makes sense. The chemistry's there. It was an easy pickup, and he's pretty good at COD too, so that helps.
Yeah,
awesome.
definitely.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem, guys. Take care.
Thank you. Awesome. Thank you, Conwa. And, I just want to thank everybody for tuning in to the stream tonight. It's been a wild ride. It's been a game 5, the first in the league. And Graf, I know you were about to give your recap there. So why don't you go ahead and give the good old Graf the Giraffe recap of the series?
Oh yeah, we'll absolutely kick this one off. Before we sign on off, we go into the map 1. It was Tuscan Hardpoint, and it was a little bit of a back and forth battle, but it will be Electrify Steel. They came out on top, took it 250 to 218. We go into the Berlin. It was Ironblood. They got it to that 5-3, and then 2 rounds back-to-back for Electrify Steel, but Ironblood, they clutched on up. They took it into 6-5. Berlin, it honestly wasn't close. It was the momentum, went all the way to Electrify Steel. They got it in a 3-0, but when you went into the Berlin Hardpoint, it was the positional gunfights that went heavily in favor of the side of Ironblood. They took it handedly at 250-168. And talk about handedly giving them a little bit of a butt smack. It was Gunny, the veteran. He went 16-2. He went ultra backpack mode as he closed it out for his team as they took it in a 6-1 map 5 to close out the first map 5 series of the Amateur World League. Absolutely incredible series, Ironblood, as they take that #1 spot away from Electrify Steel. But I have a feeling these two teams, they are going to meet on in the playoffs. But everybody, I appreciate you tuning on to this stream of the Amateur World League, as it will be the side of Ironblood closing out in a 3-2 fashion. Epiphany, it has been an absolute pleasure casting with you again. Do you have any final words to say before we sign on off?
No, but it is, of course, always a pleasure to cast with you, Graf. You're awesome, and production, thank you so much, Aslo, and everybody else behind the scenes here at AWL. It's awesome that we're able to make this happen, and playoffs are on the horizon. Things are starting to heat up, and it's all about those final standings here very, very soon, and I'm just looking forward to seeing that come. But everybody, thank you again for tuning in. We'll see you next time for the next AWL game. We'll see you next time.